When it's going to be alright doesn't feel right. May 2010 was the year and month I heard the phrase "it's going to be alright" more times than I want to remember. The month and year my dad was diagnosed with cancer. And no matter how much that phrase played over like a vinyl stuck on a record player, it didn't feel right. I had no idea how to process that word cancer in the first week of Dad's diagnosis, let alone figure out how everything was going to be alright. I wanted to stick the iPod earphones on all the time, anything to shut out the "it's going to be alright" phrase, which truthfully brings little if any comfort. "Can you friggin' guarantee that?" was what I really wanted to say to all those well-wishers. But my grandma's voice about being polite at all times snuck in there amongst all the other voices, and so I half smiled politely and instead said thank you for your kind thoughts. The truth is, cancer is very, very scary. And even though it's not proper to say it out loud, most of us hope it lands at someone else's door if it means it passes over our door. We wish for that mark on our door that would keep the angel of death away. And yes, death is usually the first thing you think when the doctor says cancer. How long do we have? Will hair fall out? Those are some of the other questions that rush to mind. But will I die? Or will my loved one die? That's the first thing you think, maybe not the first thing you say, because you're still hearing Grandma's voice about being proper. There's no easy way to get through the first days, weeks, and sometimes months of a cancer diagnosis in your family or community. You're going to go through every fear, and then some, every bit of pleading or bargaining with whatever God you believe in. And if you're lucky, you might get to the Buddha-like acceptance of there's a reason for everything, or maybe be able to say everything's going to be alright. I found my way through the maze of feelings by taking pen to paper, or fingers to keyboard really, and started writing. And I discovered that the celebration of a life well lived got me through and still gets me through the looming clutches of cancer. My dad's in remission now, and I'm unbelievably grateful for that. But there's still the 3 to 6 monthly blood tests that go on for a long time. The tests that have you waiting with tense shoulders and sleepless nights, hoping for good results. Everything's definitely not the same in your world ever again. But funnily enough, it turns out alright. It's a different kind of alright. But it's everything that life is all about. Fear, sorrow, anxiety, joy, hope, humor, prayer, celebration, and gratitude. And those things in and of themselves and collectively somehow make up the stuff of a life well lived. And in the end, that makes things all right. I hope my journey with my dad helps you through yours. Peace and blessings.